Think back to the last bath you took. Warm water, soap, shampoo, all of it drifting together in the same tub at the same time. By the time you step out, that water has quietly taken in everything your skin just let go of. Most of us never think twice about it, but Japanese women have never bathed this way. In Japan, the bath carries its own name, the Ofuro, and it was never meant for washing at all. The body is cleansed first, seated gently away from the tub, long before it ever meets that water. In today's video, I'm walking you through 5 simple skin and beauty habits Japanese women have used for generations, and not a single one asks you to buy anything at all. One of them is resting in your kitchen sink at this very moment, about to be poured away. And the last is something done every morning in under 30 seconds that almost no one in the West has ever been shown. By the way, if this kind of quiet, everyday wisdom is your thing, go ahead and hit subscribe. I've got a lot more of these coming, and I'd love to have you stick around. Let's begin with the water. The water starts here, on a small low stool tucked just beside the tub. That's where the washing happens. Soap worked in, then rinsed clean until nothing is left but bare skin. Only then does a woman lower herself into the hot water to soak, 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere between 40 and 42 degrees Celsius. Warm enough to open the pores, ease circulation, and pull the whole body towards sleep in a way a quick shower never quite reaches. In many households, that same water is used by the whole family, one after another. Not because there isn't enough to go around, but because the water stays genuinely clean the whole time. The Ofuro was never there to wash the body. It was always there to restore it. Wash first, then soak. The bathtub becomes something else entirely. Clean water is only one piece of it, though. There's something else quietly building on the surface of the skin, something most Western women have never been taught to deal with directly. In Japan, the bath, the Ofuro, is a separate act from washing entirely. Before anyone steps into the tub, the body is washed at a low seat beside the bath, soap applied, water rinsed, skin clean. Only then, clean, does a woman lower herself into the hot water to soak. The water in the tub stays clear throughout. The soak lasts 15 to 20 minutes, in water at around 40 to 42 degrees Celsius, warm enough to open the pores, support circulation, and settle the nervous system before sleep in a way a quick shower simply doesn't. In many households, the same clean water is used by the whole family in sequence. Not because resources are scarce, but because the water is genuinely clean. And because the point of the Ofuro was never to wash the body, it was always to restore it. Wash first, then soak. The bathtub becomes a completely different experience. Clean water is one piece of it, but there's something building on the surface of. Most exfoliation in the West comes from a bottle, a scrub, a chemical peel, an active ingredient working on the surface of the skin. Japanese women take a different approach, and it requires nothing from a store shelf. The practice is called Akasuri. Aka is the layer of dead skin cells and surface buildup that accumulates on the body, invisible but present, contributing to dull texture and the heaviness that a regular shower doesn't fully remove. Suri means to rub. Akasuri is the act of using a specific rough cloth, dampened, worked in long, deliberate strokes across wet skin to physically lift that layer away without any product involved. The cloth is not a loofah, it's closer to a coarse nylon towel, and what it removes isn't always visible in the water, but the skin afterward tells the story. Smoother, brighter, and more receptive to moisture than before. Japanese women who practice Akasuri regularly, once or twice a week in the bath, describe it less as a beauty treatment and more as basic maintenance. Not elaborate, not expensive. A cloth, warm water, and a few minutes of patience. What Japanese women bring to this habit, the same principle they apply to the bath, is the idea that the body has its own process, and the right tool simply supports it rather than overrides it. The same logic shows up in a completely unexpected place next. Not in the bathroom at all, but in the kitchen. The water left over from rinsing rice before cooking, cloudy, slightly starchy, poured down the drain in most Western kitchens without a second thought, is something Japanese women have been applying to their skin for generations. It's called Kome no togijiru, the rinsing water of rice. The cloudiness isn't waste, it's starch suspended in the rinse water along with B vitamins, minerals, and a compound called ferulic acid that research has linked to mild brightening and antioxidant effects on the skin. Applied like a toner after cleansing, hands or a soft cloth, the second rinse of the rice rather than the first, it softens texture, works gently on pore appearance, and provides the kind of mild but consistent care that builds quietly over weeks of use. No extra purchase, no additional step in the routine that requires going to a store. The rice was being washed regardless. The water was already there. This is mottainai in the most practical sense. Nothing useful goes to waste because something useful was already present in what most people consider a byproduct. For women who've been told their skin needs targeted serums, specific actives, and a layered routine to address each concern individually, the idea that rinse water from dinner preparation does something meaningful is, understandably, hard to take seriously the first time. And then they try it for 2 weeks. The same attention Japanese women give to what touches their skin carries over into something that most Western beauty advice has approached from the wrong direction entirely. Western hair care focuses almost entirely on the hair. Japanese women start somewhere else. Most shampoo routines in the West are built around the strands, working lather through the length, conditioning the ends, treating the hair itself as the primary concern. Japanese women tend to begin at the scalp, working shampoo in with the fingertips in slow circular motions for several minutes before the rest of the hair is addressed. The goal isn't just cleanliness, it's circulation, stimulating blood flow to the follicle, which affects how hair grows, how the scalp recovers its natural balance between washings, and how much styling product the hair ultimately needs to function well. This practice, called Tōhi massāji, is common enough in Japan that it informs salon technique, personal care routines, and how Japanese women evaluate shampoo, which they assess more on scalp health than on what it does to the hair shaft itself. One outcome over time is that Japanese women often wash their hair less frequently. Not because they care less, but because a well-circulated scalp that hasn't been stripped by daily washing finds its own balance faster. Less product, less frequency, and healthier hair as a result. Every habit on this list has been pointing in the same direction. What follows is the one that no beauty video talks about, even though Japanese women have been doing it every single morning since they were children. Every morning, before coffee, before skincare, before the first real word of the day, Japanese women clean their tongue. Not with a toothbrush, with a specific tool. A thin, curved scraper, typically copper or stainless steel, designed to move across the full surface of the tongue in a few slow passes and lift what's accumulated there overnight. In Japanese, this coating is called Shita no Koke, tongue moss, and it's composed of bacteria, dead cells, and the metabolic residue of a night's digestion. Left in place, it's the primary cause of morning breath. It also dulls taste sensitivity throughout the day, and in traditional Japanese and Ayurvedic health frameworks, its appearance is read as a reflection of digestive health, the tongue as a visible record of what's happening further inside. The practice is called Shita migaki, tongue cleaning, and Japanese women don't think of it as a wellness trend or a supplementary habit. It sits in the morning routine at the same level as cleaning the teeth, because that's how it was taught. As hygiene, plain and simple, before they were old enough to question the category it belonged to. In the West, tongue scrapers exist. They appear occasionally in health content, get tried for a week, and quietly disappear from the bathroom counter. Japanese women never needed to discover it as a trend. It was already there, already ordinary, already 30 seconds long. 5 habits. Every one of them is simple. None of them require a purchase, a subscription, or a routine overhaul. And all of them pointing at the same thing. Go back to the assumption most people start with. that Japanese women must have access to better products, more sophisticated routines, some combination of factors that explains the difference. The actual answer is quieter than that. It's clean water in the bath before the soak, a cloth that removes what soap leaves behind, kitchen rinse water repurposed as skincare, a scalp tended before the hair, a tongue cleaned before the day begins. Nothing here is sophisticated. None of it is expensive. Most of it is slower, simpler, and more deliberate than what fills the shelves of any Western pharmacy. And in that deliberateness, that quiet attention turned toward the right things, is where the difference actually lives. Not in the products, in the practice. Which of these 5 are you starting with tonight? Leave it in the comments. We read every one. Which of these habits are you thinking of trying first? Share it in the comments below because I read every single one, and your experience might inspire someone else to start too. And if you enjoy this kind of calm and thoughtful approach to living well, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps you stay connected with more content like this, and it truly supports the growth of the channel as well. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.